Hi, this is Jana Whitley, author of My Little Pony Crochet, and I'm going to be showing you part 3 of my demonstration on how to make the Twilight Sparkle figure from this book. So in the previous videos, I showed you how to do the head and the ears, and the body and the wings, and then how to sew them together. And so the next step is to make the eyes. So we're going to be doing that with the felt, and we're going to embroider the highlight on there and putting the eyes, eyelashes on there. Okay, so let's get started with that. You'll find the instructions for making the eyes are going to be on page 25, just here, and it'll tell you to go back to the back of the book for the templates, which is on page 90. You'll see down here, it's main 6 eyes, cut 2. So I'm using parchment paper, like for baking. It's kind of translucent, so I'm going to trace this. Now you could also use wax paper and a pen, or tissue paper that you would use for a gift bag. That works well as well. So I'm going to trace that oval shape, and you don't really need to trace the highlights, but I'll do that anyways. And now I've got this shape, and grab my scissors. I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to take, instead of pinning it on, which I would previously do, a crafter suggested that they could just tape this onto the felt with Scotch tape and then cut it that way, and that seems like an improvement on pins. So here's my felt. I'm going to put it close to the corner so I can have plenty of space for other eyes. And let's see, here's my Scotch tape. And I love my little chameleon Scotch tape holder. Okay. So I'm going to tape that on there. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to have my nice, these are tiny little embroidery scissors. They're very sharp. Good for doing a lot of small work involved in making amigurumi. Okay, and there's one. And I'm going to cut out the second one. I've got enough tape, I can peel this up and tape on the second. Okay, let's cut out the second one. Okay, so there's our eyes. Okay, you can save, if you want, you can save your little template for using when you make Rainbow Dash and the other characters. Now I've got a little bit of jaggedy edge, so I'm just gonna clean up any little rough marks. Okay, now for the embroidering the highlights, you'll see, let's see if I can get a good picture here. You'll see there's some embroidery that we've used in 2 spots, and the instructions tell us to use 3 strands of the floss, because this is 6-strand floss, and let's see, we need to find the end here. Okay, the ends were hidden underneath. So I am going to, before I set, I'm not going to separate the whole length. I'm going to probably use about 12 inches and cut myself a length. And now I'm going to kind of fray the ends and see there's 6 strands. So I'm going to take 3 in one hand and 3 in the other and just separate them like so. Okay, so I've got my 3 strands there and put them on my needle. Okay, and if I look at my template, I can see where the highlights are going to be. So I can just maybe poke right through there. Actually, I'll probably want to put a knot in the end first. So let's put a little knot. So one trick that a lady taught me once was I lick my finger and then I put about 1 inch or 2 just around the tip of my finger, and then I roll it off and then just kind of cinch it up, and it just kind of turns into a little knot. So I found that a lot easier than trying to actually tie a little overhand knot in the end. Okay, so is that the right spot? Let's see how that's gonna look. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to do it kind of diagonal and just come down, about, I don't know, oops, you know what, I went through the wrong way. Let's try that again. I'm going to take my needle out, pull the threads out, rethread my needle. I haven't done embroidery in a little while. I'm a little bit rusty. Okay, so let's go down. And I'll come back up right next to, as close as I can, to the original point of entry. And then go back down in again, right next to that. Oops. There we go. My needle fell off my thread. Okay, and then we're just gonna repeat that. Until it makes a kind of a solid small square of white. And you want your stitches to lie parallel to each other, so they're all lined up. Okay, there's the first highlight. Now we're going to go a little bit beneath it, about right there. So if you look at the template, so come back up. And this time make smaller stitches, just a little bit of ways. So there's one. That one might have been too small, so let's make it the next one a little bit bigger. Two and third. And you know, if you goof up, there's you know, extra felt hair. So you should be able to make at least a couple more eyes if you're not happy with how these turned out. Okay. Okay, there's the smaller highlight there. And so this is how it's going to look. We're going to glue it on here. And you can see I've counted down. The instructions tell me to count down to about row 13, round 13 or 14 on the head. So you go, starting here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So between here or here. And then, so you want to So if this is the center, you want to have about 4 stitches to this side, 4 stitches to that side. So we have that nice and centered. And then, you know, make sure they're kind of in line with the ears as well. So I've marked those with pins. And let's see, let's tie this off in the back. This is the back side of my the eye. I'll just kind of create a little overhand knot there. Okay, and just cut that with maybe just a little smidge of string. There's the back side. There's the front side. Okay, so there's one done. And you're just going to make the second one, same method. So I'll do that and I will pause that video and come back. Okay, so here I've got my 2 eyes embroidered. And I've got some glue. This is, I like Aleene's tacky glue for gluing yarn and felt together. It's nice and thick. So just put a nice thin coating on here and kind of dab it around so there's not big thick clumps of it. Okay, and I'm going to take the pin out. Let's see, I'll probably center them right there. Okay, and let's put the other one on. So it's going to go right there. Let's see, let me make sure I save the spot. Okay. Alrighty. I think I might move them down just a row or so. There we go. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm gonna get ready to do the eyelashes. So I'm going to need a needle and my black floss. So here's my black floss. I'm just gonna pull the end off of that cardboard, unwind it. Okay, find the end. And again, probably about 12 inches. And let's see in the book how many strands I'm going to be using. It's going to be eyelashes. All 6 strands for the black floss for the eyelashes. Okay, so we don't separate this. Let's see. Okay. So I want the eyelashes to be kind of at an angle coming off the ends here and then over here. So I'm going to come through the back of the head here. And I think I'll start up away from right there. And I'm not going to tie a knot in the back, I'll just kind of pull it through so it's just hidden there. I'll go down and then come up just a little bit further away. And then another second eyelash just a bit And then we're gonna come back through the back of the head. So this is kind of this is not a very long needle, so I don't want to lose my needle in the, let's see, how's that look? Looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna snip it here. Okay. And just repeat that on the other side. And if on your first try you don't like the length or the angle, you can certainly give it another try. There's a lot of times when I'm making eyelashes or eyebrows where I don't quite like it, and so I just pull it out and give it another go. Okay. That looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trim that on the back. And I've got a little bit of black poking out, so what I can do is just take the eye of my needle and just pull the yarn around it so it kind of swallows it up, so then you can't see it. Okay, next we're going to do the little nose and the mouth with our purple floss. So I'm going to get that out of this package. And a lot of these materials are for when you're going to make the cutie marks, the little hind quarter mark on the back of the horse. Okay, so purple. So there's a purple. Just gonna slide it off the end here. And let's see, let's do it about maybe 18 inches this time. And I think we want to use all 6 strands, so we're not going to separate it. I think you want to save the rest for when you're making a cutie mark. Okay, so I'm just going to come up from, let's see, maybe down here. And so I can decide where I want the nose, and so I can look at the book for reference. And here it's showing kind of almost to the bottom of the eyes. In fact, I'm just going to come in through here. Okay. Let's see, how thick do I want? I think I want a little bit thicker than that. So I'm going to come in right here. And maybe go down there, right there. Let's see how that. Okay. Now this yarn is pretty much the same color. I'm sorry, this floss is the same color as the yarn, so it's not quite showing up. So if you want it darker, you'd need to purchase some darker floss at a craft store, because it looks like it's not quite as dark as in the book. There was another user on Ravelry who said that she didn't like that they. So yeah, you can see that this is quite dark compared to the yarn. So So yeah, you can swap that out if you want. So we're going to make a fly stitch, which is, so I've emerged just here. And I want to make kind of a U shape or V shape for the mouth, like so. So what I'm going to do is come back in right here. Or maybe right here. Yeah, right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle my needle to come down in the middle, but just a couple rows beneath. And I want to loop the working floss underneath the needle. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to hold that floss in place while I pull it through. And now when I pull it, it's going to leave kind of a V shape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my needle back in almost to the exact spot where I came out, but I'm going to kind of loop it over this UV shape, so tack it in place. So I'll come down there, and then I'll come out like towards the back of the doll, like that. So that is just one fly stitch for the mouth. So yeah, that is just not showing up, is it? Because it's the same color. You can kind of see it if it's tilted towards the light, right? Like so. And you know, my little fly stitch is not quite symmetrical, so you know, I can try that again. I can pull the stitch out and say, yeah, let's give it another go. That pulled the nose out too, but that's okay. Okay, so while I'm fixing that, I'll just pause it and come back. Okay, so I just redid the mouth and nose because it was a little not symmetrical, but there's again a fly stitch and there's just a straight stitch for that nose, and I'm gonna just cut the floss in the back, save the rest for later. Okay, so next, what is next? So there's our face, and next we're going to be doing the, I believe it's the mane. So let me get ready for that. Okay, so let's get started making the Twilight Sparkle forelock. So instructions are just here on page 27. And the important thing is we are going to work all stitches in back loops only to create kind of this texture of lines in the hair. So I've taken the yarn and rolled it into a ball. I'm going to put it in my little bowl to keep it from rolling away while I'm working. Okay, and I've got my C hook, and I'm going to make a slip knot to start, and I'm going to chain 7.